Boromir, the captain of Gondor, the last hope of the White City, has been tasked by his father this day to reclaim this lost Gondorian outpost, take it away from the forces of the East and bring it back into the fold. However, he is not alone this day. He has brought reinforcements from Dawnless, calling upon his loyal vassal. Prince Imrahil has mustered a mighty army to support this Gondorian host. However, even numbering 6,000 troops, they will be hard-pressed to win this day, as the forces of Eastlings have amassed a mighty sally out ready to storm the defenders and destroy them piece by piece. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another glorious Dawnless Days online battle. This is the Lord of the Rings modification for Total War Atilla, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new update. This is 0.8. This comes with a whole wealth of new changes along with new units, and main focus of this update is to bring all the legendary characters from the books and the movies to life. So as you guys saw, Prince Imrahil, we have Boromir, and there are so many more. I think there's something along the lines of 18 new characters in this update, and that's going to be perfect. Again, all of these updates are going to be here to gear up for the campaign whenever it inevitably does come out. Today's battle, we have a massive sally out. So as you can see, the Eastlings have mustered their forces and are immediately diving in after this Gondorian force. Prince Imrahil over here on the left is going to be very hard pressed, and you guys would have saw them in their intro. This is the Gondorian Prince Imrahil, I believe. There's a Dawnless Prince Imrahil, and there's obviously Boromir, and also I believe the evil side does also have their very own custom units as well. We don't have Mordor. I know Mordor got a lot of custom heroes in this update, which is obviously super cool and super important, but unfortunately they are not engaged in this one. Defending on the side of the evil forces, we have Umber, we have Gundabad, and I believe a force from from the Eastlings, of course. Here we go. This first initial engagement from this sally out is going to immediately dive in here, and I think these wardens are going to be up against it for sure, being charged right into the flank and being harassed by the Locarian missile cavalry as they continue to maneuver around, just looking for all these awesome positions, getting the shots into the side, and that's exactly how this cavalry should be played. I am surprised though we're not seeing cavalry. Yeah, we're now seeing cavalry move, but it's kind of a little bit too late. The Eastlings have been able to surround this Gondorian force very effectively, and this cavalry needs to be sent to reinforce. Granted, there's no cavalry on the other sides of the settlement, but you'd really hope that more reinforcements would be sent to try and alleviate the pressure, because this is an entire army, an entire defending force has come out to play, and you really need to try and crush this. They've given up their advantage, right? Which means you really have to try and punish this by reinforcing from the other areas. I mean, we even just have cavalry just ready to kind of pounce at any moment. The Eastlings not looking to overcommit their forces. Granted, they are also taking a pretty large punishment here, losing a lot of soldiers. Prince Imrahil has come to reinforce, and these Knights of the Silver Swan are more than capable of dealing with a unit or two of Eastlings. This is elite heavy shot cavalry, probably some of the best cavalry in the entire game. So they are going to be coming here trying to help out wherever they can, scare off the enemy units. And we also do have some soldiers now making their way actually onto the battlement. So if these guys can maybe get that gate open, they can start turning these towers, cut off any retreat from this Eastling force. It's actually a really good idea. Along the other battlements, we do have the Gundabad forces now engaging against the Gondorians. And I mean, this is one of the oldest units in all of the Dawnless Days, and it still just looks so goddamn beautiful. There's literally nothing I love more than seeing a Gondorian soldier in full plate armor just chilling, having the time of his life. And what a trebuchet shot right there, hitting some of the most expensive shock infantry in the game. These are the Black Númenóreans of Umber. Wow, that was a beautiful trebuchet shot. Look at it. That guy, yeah, give that guy a goddamn raise right there. As more of a forces fight, right here we have Dawnless going up against some of the Umber soldiers. So Umber are in the gold armor and Dawnless are of course in the blue armor. Both these sides clashing in head to head, trying to make any progress. But the majority of this force is just kind of sitting back here and hanging out. Dawnless not looking to overcommit. Oh, wow, look at this unit as well. So we are using a few submods as well. I think this is one of the submods. I think actually a lot of Dawnless, if not all of Dawnless, is a submod faction. This unit looks amazing, but I love the look of their uniforms. And there you go, a big breach, and now is the perfect time for Dawnless to move through, and that's exactly what they're doing. They are pushing up some soldiers here. They have some ladders, and again, this is a really nice assault a really nice assault here. Hiding some soldiers in the forest and bringing them over is actually really good. However, they are completely leaving this force to die. I don't know what else to say. But they're taking advantage of this as well. It's not like they are just like sitting back and letting this force die. I guess the players did end up deciding that, yeah, this force is going to basically just hold down the Saliao as much as possible, because with these soldiers outside the settlement, it basically means there's only 2 defenders inside the settlement. Just basically have, you know, even less soldiers to begin with, so throwing an entire player outside is going to give them a big advantage. And I guess their kind of main goal is to hope that they can kill enough and hold down enough to then push into the settlement and kind of overwhelm the defenders. And we'll have to see if that does play out. I'm very excited as well to see Boromir fully committed to battle. Look at that. His model looks great. He's got the Horde of Gondor on his side. And that's just so cool, right? It's so cool we're starting to get these features. You can see every single update, like even this map as well, you know, every single update is bringing us one step closer to that glorious campaign. And I think that the plan is for the dev team, I think they put out in their timeline that they basically want to... Oh, I thought it was going to be an enemy general who's dead, and I thought Prince Imrahil might have gone down. But yeah, their plan is to actually release a playable alpha of the campaign on 1.0. That's going to be their goal. We're currently at 0.8. This is the 0.8 update. The next update, I think, is going to be a pretty large one with wargs, a complete rework to Mordor, and plenty of other stuff to kind of really get themselves up. So we are only, for the sense of it, 2 big updates away from being able to hopefully play the campaign, which is super exciting. Now, don't get me wrong, there might be tons of smaller updates in between that. I imagine 0.9 will take a long time to come out. And then in between that, we might get a 0.9.5 or something along them lines. But still, super exciting, right? That we are now, you know, really... Oh, that's such a good kill as well. Oh, that was beautiful. You go, man. You go. Yeah, it's really exciting that we are within grasping distances of the Dawnless Days campaign. I mean, that is just... Yeah, that is just something incredible right there. Speaking of incredible, let's get back to the battle and kind of evaluate where we are. So it does seem like the Eastling forces have been successful. The cavalry has now finally made its way around. I think that cavalry could have come down a lot sooner to get their asses over here to help out in this battle. They were a bit delayed, but they are now here. And their goal now is to basically stop these forces from retreating inside the settlement to help reinforce this, because it does seem like the Gondorians and the forces of Dawnless are slowly making their way through. Especially over here, they are pouring in with everything they've got. They're taking a lot of damage right there, and it seems like Umber have done an amazing job here of holding this unit in place, allowing them the javelins back here and the archers to then fire in. This is going to be with some of the Blackhaven marksmen. And whenever you go ahead and give them the marksman title, you know they're going to be that little bit more deadly, right? And they're able to fire shots in. This is always like one of the deadly traps of the Attilla engine. Is the breach creates an elevated area and allowing your archers to fire directly into the position, and it generally does always rack up considerably more casualties than anything else. So yeah, able to kind of get them shots off is absolutely perfect. They also have some of their other units as well supporting, ready to push in. I'm not sure if, again, this is a custom general for Umber, or if this is part of the Last Breath sub-mod. I don't know. Either way, they're able to reinforce here, and it does seem like Dawnless are being pushed back. That missile fire is starting to rack up. However, there is a perfect opportunity. If they can get cavalry through here, they could start ripping through these ranks. Another artillery volley there as well. I think looking to maybe expand this breach out as well. There are some soldiers actually inside the settlement as well. These rangers, the Aphelion rangers supported by the Wardens, have brought their way up through that ladder and are now causing some pretty nice harassments, able to send off any enemy cavalry that come close. And these guys can start putting some good pressure. Ideally, they want to try and get themselves maybe up here. If they can get up here, they can start firing down and kind of shooting into the backs of these soldiers. I really do hope we do see some forces being brought through here, whether it's cavalry or whatever it is. Yeah, you have Prince Imrahil right here who could make a big break and go into the settlement. That would be pretty gnarly as the rest of the Knights of the Silver Swans do come back. We are getting the artillery being hit again. The Eastlings just using that cavalry advantage they have access to go ahead and take out these 2 trebuchets, which are of course putting up a lot of damage. Surprisingly, no breach is being made though. They are looking to just kind of push through, but it does seem like the walls have been won. I mean, at heavy cost, of course, but yeah, this side of the wall has actually been conquered as a lot of the evil forces now fall back. The battling on the left parts of the wall, though, are still firing fierce, and a lot of the arrow fire is coming in. Luckily though, that these settlements are designed in a way to give a bit more protection. Normally, you know, as you can see, there's a bit more of an elevation now on the back of the walls. Normally, you can just shoot directly into the soldiers, whereas this offers a bit more protection, and I guess is more historically there to stop people from falling over and, you know, kind of, you know, going and dropping to their deaths, I guess, with this being there. So again, offers a bit more protection gameplay wise. It kind of maybe makes a bit more sense actually lore wise as these soldiers continue to fight in. They are still taking damage, of course, but definitely not as much as they once were. And here we go, the cavalry pushing in now. We have some more of the armored watchmen reinforcing. They need to make a breach, and I think this is going to be exactly where they want to go through. Dawnless have been really smart as well, as they basically gone ahead and saved a lot of their very good pikemen until the enemy are running lower and lower on ammunition. You can see a lot of these marksmen only have a handful of shots left. They do have a supply barrel, so they'll be able to resupply some of their archers, but obviously the supporting archers as well, all trying to focus these guys down. They just need to get this cavalry inside the settlement. If they can get that inside the settlement, then they're going to be laughing all the way to the bank. We have a massive engagement. Them forces we were talking about, the Athilian Rangers, have been overrun now. Just a sheer pressure of soldiers, and without them wardens supporting them, then the Athilian Rangers are going to be cut to pieces. Look how awesome this unit is as well. These are the Tomb Raiders, and look at them warhammers they're equipped with. It looks like they kind of got like some makeshift dwarven armor that I guess they've raided, and now they're bringing that to bear. That looks like such a beastly unit, supported by the obviously the evil men here as well, with their warhammers and axes, able to send that off packing pretty nicely. The walls though, the walls are being lost on this right hand side. It seems like Boromir, even though he is not moving himself in, has done a great job here. Ideally what he'd want to do is probably now try and get these archers actually on the walls. If they can get the archers on the walls, they can then start firing down, opening up the gate force, because this gate assault, yeah, it is basically just useless right now. There's literally nothing these units can do. Charging in against pikes, I guess they're here just to kind of try and keep these units at bay and not get them to be committed elsewhere. Oh, another beautiful cavalry charge here. The horse archers putting down their bows, whipping out their swords, and are now smashing into the side of these archers. The Knights of Dawnless are reacting, but just a little bit too late. By the time they get over here, I think, unfortunately, these archers are going to see that all is lost. However, the pressure right here is going pretty well. The arrow fire is definitely getting its pound of flesh. And again, the missile fire is kind of getting some good shots in, and they are running lower and lower on that ammunition. If we take a look at the numbers and the balance of power, we can see that the defenders do now have more men. They have about 500 more soldiers left to be brought into this battle, which is good. And I think they're going to be starting to really start putting the pressure, unless the attackers can get themselves a bit more embedded. I mean, they're making great progress, as I mentioned, on the walls. Dawnless coming down, and they're killing like night hunters. And that's something to keep in mind as well when it does come to the actual sizes of the armies, is the evil forces generally always have dramatically more men. So this is probably a bit more even than it looks. And on top of that, we also have a lot of the archers who no longer have ammunition, so they're basically a lot more useless than, say, the attacking archers who have plenty more shots left remaining as they continue to volley in and cause some pretty decent damage. The pikemen are pushing in now, and again, this is a very deadly unit that is now going to be able to do some really serious work, because yeah, just look at them able to kind of keep the enemy at bay. They're a little bit outflanked, but immediately being reinforced by some armored watchmen, and then the arrow fire comes in as well. Now this unit of elite Black Númenóreans can no longer put their shields above their heads to protect because they're engaged, which means that ammunition is going to really start to rack up. We even have some cavalry trying to push through here. Again, this is melee cavalry and also heavy shot cavalry, so should be okay, but again, in the prolonged engagement, more arrow fire coming in, they're going to be definitely struggling. They need this push to kind of go in their favor, and they need to exploit it. They need to immediately bring these guys over, immediately charge in here, open up this breach, get the cavalry in, and then start running down these archers. Javelins are being thrown over to the breach as quickly as possible. these guys will do some serious damage. Also taking the gate. I mean, the gate is actually currently open. They could probably run some cavalry through there, but I think they're being nice and accepting that it's yeah, not going to be a thing. On top of this as well, this unit of Gundabad is going to be down. However, I think the assault on this side is very rarely positioned right there. We also have 4 units of archers. Let's get these bad boys on the wall and let's start using them. Here we go. Yeah, going to be going up onto that position. Yeah, if you get them archers on there, they have all their ammunition. Start shooting down on this. Oh my god, that unit will be just mincemeated. So even though things are looking really good, honestly, like I will say that things are looking pretty decent for the defenders right now, there's still a lot of bad situations that can go down for them. As I said, the pikemen are pushing out, doing some really good damage, killing the javelinmen. The men of Dawnless here are busy fighting a lot of the lighter night hunters, which will just melt to their weapons. They're losing positions on the wall, even though their cavalry is still harassing, and now archers are going to be getting up on the wall. I think it's probably glitching out, to be honest. Archers definitely have a much harder time of getting up these ladders in the older games. Luckily now in Warhammer you can just click on the siege tower and it does bring you up, which is actually really, really nice. And this fight is still going on. Oh, who died? Did Prince Imrahil die? Oh, I think Prince Imrahil went down. Oh my no. How? That sucks. And now the cavalry, the Eastling cavalry is now pushing out. Yeah, these guys are going aggressive here, which is actually not a bad idea. A lot of the soldiers are now on the wall, so they can move completely out the settlement and look to exploit that. That's a smart move there by the defenders. Like, even utilizing these gates as well would not be a bad idea, just to get your soldiers out, because yeah, there is no I mean, obviously you do have a unit of cavalry right there, but outside of that, it's actually not too much to worry about. Yeah, and here we have it. The forces are now engaged outside the settlement, the Black Numenorians pushing out with everything they've got. However, this would be a great opportunity. Get this cavalry around, like get the cavalry around them and hit these guys in the side. You'll break them pretty quickly. However, we are going for another charge. The other Prince Imrahil, because there are 2, as the Gondorian one and then the Daimrov one, is looking to make his way in. However, he's going to be met by a javelin volley, which is going to do a lot of damage. You need to keep on going, my friend. What are you doing? Don't get out of there. Yeah, that was a very, very, I guess, nonchalant charge, which didn't really achieve much, unfortunately. There's even these 4 brave Uruks right here. What a cool unit as well. Berserkers of Gundabad. And these guys are going to charge in and probably slice some heads off. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them take out a handful of the enemy. Yeah, exactly like that. These horse archers are actually trying to charge the Athilian Rangers over on the extreme left flank. Luckily, they've set their units up in a pretty smart way so that they can't get everyone charged all in one. And it does also seem like as well, the forces of Gundabad have now pushed outside the settlement, so they're looking to basically destroy the defenders in one big go right here. And there's just not enough coordination, I think, between the attackers to really punish this. I think, you know, proper players, or I guess if people were better communicating, they'd be able to actually go ahead and really punish coming out the settlement and giving up them defenses. But because the reaction has been kind of slow to kind of punish these, they've really got away with it. And I think the defenders are going to clean this one up now, able just to utilize that big shock factor of sallying out the cavalry to really punish their opponents. And yeah, once this cavalry gets out here, it's going to be able to really start looking at these lighter infantry and bring them down. Granted, though, again, it is just with these weaker goblins, which an Athilian Ranger could kill 5-10 of them before even taking a nick to his armor. Don't forget as well, we also do have Boromir in this unit. So Boromir's elite guard is busy fighting here. I'm trying to pinpoint him. I can't actually see him right now. He does have obviously that round shield, so he should be a bit easier to see as his guard takes down another of these Gundabad troops. And he is forming up. And again, I think this overconfidence is definitely hurting them. Like, they're pushing out and they're losing a lot of these soldiers, and they continue to sally out more and more soldiers. The cavalry is going to be a real pain to deal with. However, look at that. Yeah, Daimrov has been completely dominated over on this side. And they basically have Prince Imrahil running... oh, no, he actually dismounted. Okay, that's one way to do it. Try and get as many as possible. But yeah, that's not looking good. Boromir is holding. And we still have this big resistance block right here, which is still fighting that Gundabad Warlord unit. That is crazy. But yeah, there's all of this hill, soldiers moving their way out. I think this is the beginning of the end. This last pocket of Gondorian soldiers, though, able to kill the Eastling general, so he is now just gone down the Storm Rider. I have been saying this as well. I can't find Boromir. He's in here somewhere. He hasn't gone down. I'm looking for someone without a helmet, and I literally cannot see him. I must be blind. I must be, because I just cannot find him in this block, and I wanted to watch him fight, because he definitely hasn't gone down yet either, because there's been no notification about him specifically. Maybe when the squad gets a bit more thinned out, but yeah, this is basically the last stand now. Gondor able to kill a lot of the cavalry, and Prince Imrahil was still doing a great job here at holding the line, but yeah, that seems like it's going to be GG now. The rest of the units coming out, it's going to probably be enough to finish off what remains of this assault. So Boromir has failed. I honestly as well wonder how that would have affected the Fellowship as well. If Boromir died here and never made it to the Fellowship, would the Fellowship have broken so easily? Because really, obviously, Boromir was the main, the kind of the final straw that kind of pushed Frodo out into the wilderness. But also, about Boromir, would they have survived Moria, you know? There's all these questions, and how a simple change would have been enough to, completely change the course of the Fellowship. But yeah, that seems like it's going to be it for the battle right there. The defenders able to put up a pretty decent stand. And I think, honestly, that sally out and the lack of reaction to the allies of the attackers was what ended up, kind of ceding that battle to the defenders. They were able to take out a large portion of the attacking force right there and not really lose too much. So that was a really nice push right there. And that is going to be a victory for them. If you guys enjoyed this battle, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it if you could get this video to 300 likes. And if you guys want to see more Dawnless Days 0.8 on the new update, then of course let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.